Had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also they're a literal vampire. And suddenly my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Año nuevo, los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawái, Alaska y California y con entrega.
All right, here for the weekend pod with Daniel. We're going to review Champions League, Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Did we enjoy that one, Dan? Happy New Year, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Shana Tova, everyone. Yeah, that was shit, obviously. Just a slightly less pungent nature.
I guess. Yeah.
Slightly lighter hue. I don't know what to say.
Well, I don't get it. Does Erik press the X button and he gets chaos ball and we score 3 and concede 3, presses the Y button and we get a boring deal now? Like, we have to toggle between these each week at the moment.
Well, I mean, not exactly, because we've scored 5 goals in 7 league games, so the scoring 3 and conceding 3 is not a common occurrence. Unfortunately, I'd fucking accept that shit. But I thought like the team he picked almost felt instructive, and that it was a team designed to get a result in this one game, this kind of result, and perhaps save him. But that's, I guess, to me, the reason why they shouldn't save him. If they minded to fire him, if he's getting fired on the strength of the last 2 and a bit seasons, and very specifically how shit it's been so far this season, with not really any excuses.
No excuses at all. Another 6 players in the summer. I don't understand what the excuses could be at this stage. The game model that he likes to talk about, I mean, I was poking fun at it, but I don't know what it is. In this one, it was sit in a low block, don't press from the front. So the team was very, very compact as a result. And as a result, we had 2 shots on target in the first half and then loads all over the place. I guess we count. Statistically, Bruno's doesn't count as a shot on target, but it was the best moment of the game, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah. But I mean, if we talk about the team, I guess, to begin with, first of all, I enjoyed something Maguire said in the week, where he says, because he knows he's been left out of the England squad. And apparently, Carlos has explained he wants to look at various players who he's not seen. So Maguire wasn't in the place, he didn't include him. Maguire says, I played in his first game in charge, and I did really well against Ireland. There's no hiding from that.
I'm going to hide from a good performance. Yeah, cracking.
But who's doing the hiding? Is he not talking about the fact that Carsley can't hide from his dominating performance against the mighty Ireland? I mean, really?
Yeah. I guess that one is, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, while we're on interviews, Johnny Evans, man of the match, Johnny Evans, still bragged about that he's still got the pace. I think his tongue may have been firmly in his cheek at that point.
Didn't think so. I thought he meant it, that he's still able to keep up. Yeah, I thought he meant that.
Yeah, maybe. And then basically confessed that they'd set up to not concede goals, which, was obvious. Like, I don't think it's a big revelation.
But hang on. If you're setting up to not concede goals and you remove 120 million quid's worth or whatever it is of centre-back that you yourself purchased, both players who have played for you before, and in order to be solid, you don't feel able to include either of them. I'm sorry?
Well, they went back to Leicester's 18-19 centre-back pairing, didn't they? So.
And we said it at the time that De Ligt and Martinez felt that they shared similar flaws. They're both front foot defenders. Neither of them has recovery pace. And it felt like they weren't a great partnership. They've so far turned out not to be a good partnership. I felt that when I asked this question, I feel like I might just letting Martinez off because I like him. But that is the presence of De Ligt having a destabilising effect on Martinez. I don't, in that what he's not going to do, he doesn't have that pace in behind, the security of the pace in behind he had when he played with Varane. But I wasn't surprised that he picked Maguire and Evans as his centre backs, because it kind of felt like the kind of, is cowardly fair way to describe it. I mean, we've seen these decisions before. It just felt that, because ultimately we won't take the team forward. And that defensive partnership might get you a point, but it sort of becomes, okay, whether you can say, well, get a point, and then after the international break, go back to the other two, and blah, blah, blah. But if we lost again, but I don't understand why he felt he couldn't trust De Ligt and Martinez. I mean, I do understand, but I don't understand why that should be something that is extremely embarrassing for him, that he'd be trying to avoid. And I don't know. I mean, I thought that bringing on, when they get injured, when Maguire gets injured, and Maguire and Evans in particular was excellent, and he's not let us down in any game that he's played for us since coming back. But then he brings on De Ligt, not Martinez. And is that because he wants to keep Evans as the left centre-back? Maybe, but Evans can play right centre-back. And surely, again, like, in theory, like going forward, whatever, Martinez is the left centre-back, and it's either Yoro or De Ligt on the other side. So, not exactly sure. De Ligt almost managed to make himself fall for another goal at the end there.
Yeah, look, this told us nothing about Erik Ten Hag or about the team or about a vision for the future or anything like that. It felt like a setup for a single game, which is fine if the context is you're doing really well, you're going away to a tough team, and you'll be happy with a point, and if you nick a goal, great, right? But the context is we're in 14th position in the Premier League, and we're hoping we can beat Brentford after the international break so we can move up to 13th, right? That's the context, right? The context is we're actually, and 21st in Europe.
This is the lowest. This is the lowest we've ever been in the league, or in the Premier League. In the Premier League era, after 7 games, and it's the fewest goals we've ever scored at this stage of the season. Say 72, 73 when we go down.
Right. So getting a 0-0 draw when you play for a 0-0 draw, is that supposed to be good? I mean, I do wonder, does Erik think he had to get something to not lose his job? Because the context is not one game. It should be 10 this season and 113 over the previous 2, right? So,
also, I mean, then when he's asked about the selection, he says it's just rotation. It's just, we all saw the disaster in midweek. We all saw the Tottenham game. It just be honest, man. Like, I don't think anyone, like, and if De Ligt and Martinez can't handle him saying, they haven't been playing well, then that's their problem, not his problem. But it felt like, just be honest. But again, like, there's no vision for the future. When's Yoro meant to come back? Is it November?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So we're still a few weeks away from Yoro, and is Shaw maybe back after the break?
I mean, they said that in the last international break, though. So, you know, who knows? Like, yeah. I mean, for sure that defence would look very different if you had Yoro in there who does have recovery pace, and Shaw who gives you a bit of balance, and you don't have either Dalot either instructed or feeling more comfortable inverting into midfield. Right? You get a very different looking side there. But still, I mean, come on.
I mean, I love the way Dalot has also been dreadful for a lot of the season so far. He turns his arse on that shot at the end, blocks it with his back, and then celebrates like he's just pulled off.
Fist pumping and high. Yeah, I mean, the player should have just gone back across goal and side-footed it into the other corner, right? And the striker, Philogene, like, picked the wrong option. And Dalot was pussied out, basically, and turned away from the shot, going, not my face, and got lucky with it. I don't see much credit for him there. It's like a series of very odd, strange decisions and rationales from Erik. And maybe he's giving us one story in public and there's something different behind the scenes, but like rotating by bringing on 2 central defenders with 10 minutes to go in midweek and then keeping them on for this game, a little odd when there's international break, and who knows whether, De Ligt's definitely is not a certainty in the Holland team. I don't think he made the last squad, did he? And then the whole rationale around Rashford and Garnacho, the argument was that although Rashford was having his best game in a very long time in midweek, he was going to rotate him to be fresh for this game when he's not going to play for the next 2 weeks. None of it makes any sense.
And we've seen this quite a lot, that he seems to have preconceived notions of who should come on and off when, rather than looking at what's actually going on in the game. And particularly this season, his subs have just totally jiggered momentum. Mm-hmm. And then to go back to just the team that started, what's going on with Ugarte? I mean, obviously he hasn't played well, and we're just saying he had no preseason, needs time to get up to speed, new league, blah, blah, blah. Are we saying that? Are we saying the manager doesn't fancy him?
Well, the manager said he needs time to find the game model, understand the game model. But I don't know what the game model is.
That's why he needs time to understand it.
Yeah. Is it this one? Is it the one against Palace where we had control? Is it the chaos ball we've seen for most of Ten Hag's time? Is it the kind of actually the format we've seen for most of the games, or the majority, I guess, is fairly direct play out wide players, right? So we've seen that a bit less this season. I don't know what it is. So I feel like we were having this conversation 2 years ago where we were going, soon we'll see the vision. We'll see what we'll see what the identity of the team is. Like, no identity. And if we're to believe that identity is coming from the top down, right? That they're going to pick a coach and a style of play that's going to play across all United age group teams in the first team. Like, he's done nothing in this game to like promote his cause there and show that he's following instructions or anything like that.
He has the chops to coach what it is he's been told to coach. He swaps slow defenders for even slower defenders, which means you've got even less possibility of squeezing the play. And we can't get our good players on the ball often enough. Again, Manu didn't touch the ball for about the first 20 minutes. Then he has a few little moments when he gets on the ball. Bruno, again, I know he's not playing well, and obviously we like him, so we try and find excuses for him sometimes. He isn't playing well. We agree he's not playing well, but we're not getting him on the ball in good positions, which was something that Ole's team managed to do all the time.
Well, sure, he's playing at number 8 now, even deeper. In fact, Eriksen was ahead of him for a lot of this game, so...
And again, I mean, Eriksen is a nice footballer, but the future of the game is not him. And it just feels like you play 3 technical players in midfield, and you're not going to get. We're not winning possession high up with those 3 in midfield, I guess.
No, and there was no plan to today. Our possession had just dropped back into a mid to low block, didn't they? And there was no pressing from the front. I mean, that's clearly instructed. It stretches the team out so much that it's easy to play through us. He's finally worked it out, apparently.
And the thing that I thought was telling from Evans' interview is when he says that something about, they're just looking for like moment of quality or something. It's just, but that's no way to try and win a football match. And Villa are good, but they're not that good, and they didn't play well today.
They didn't play particularly well. They missed Onana. I guess he was injured. We're lucky because they had Ross Barkley in there instead, who's a decent footballer, but nowhere near as physical. So it wasn't anywhere near a physical battle in midfield. Who else were they missing? I feel like they were missing another key player.
Diego Carlos didn't start. McGinn's injured. That's
the other one. Yeah. So, and then they've come off I guess it's always a question, like, it's a big emotional night. How much was that a physical toll? They had a 24 hours more rest than United, but the sort of emotion of your first big game back in Europe after 40 odd years or whatever.
And for a lot of those players, the first massive game they've ever played in, like the first game like that they've ever played in. So it's a big emotional dump as well. It felt like there was we've made quite a lot of poor decisions or poor execution in attack, and poor execution doesn't really turn up sport, but the poor defending that sort of necessitates some of the poor play that we see because of where the whereabouts of the line is totally his fault because he's bought the defenders. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, most as I said last week, I think it's 90% Ten Hag's fault and 10% execution here, which is the players. So our 3 best chances today, and it's, I don't know, what is it, 0.6 XG or something, were Rashford and Garnacho cutting in from the left and shooting, which is their thing, but they're both very low XG chances. And Bruno's long-range effort onto the bar. That was it. There was nothing else, right? Not even from set pieces, which would be decent at this season.
No, and Xerxes' cameo also was tremendous. I mean, it's quite funny, actually, how quickly he has regressed in that. I mean, he doesn't appear to look as fit as he should be. Don't know if that's just body shape or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I tweeted in the middle of the Twente game in the first half that I thought he'd need to add some numbers, but like add beautiful touch and imagination. He's basically done nothing since then, so I'm now having it retweeted at me. But, of course, and rightly so. But yeah, he now looks like someone who's never played football before.
Oh, half of them do. At least never played football with each other. Although today, like you can say, yeah, it looked like a team because you can see the instructions being played out on the pitch. So I just don't think it's much of a vision.
Yeah, it's just not sustainable.
Yeah. Rene Harke said something funny in midweek where he called himself the number 2, and it was like a little bit of I can't remember who did the write-up, one of the papers, like going, well, who's the real number 2? Is it Ruud or is it Rene Harke? And like, who's jostling to take over as interim manager when Erik gets the boot on Tuesday?
Do we think he will?
I doubt it. There were reports in Italy saying they'd approached Simone Inzaghi, Inter manager, to take over, which would be an interesting one, right? That's not one that has been on the sort of favourites list because I think the assumption is he won't leave Inter.
Also, I mean, he's a 3-5-2 guy.
Yeah.
Our squad is not really a 3-5-2 squad.
I mean, I guess Mazraoui is comfortable enough playing as the sort of wing back. He's not that physical, though, is he? So
no, to get up and down in that position, you need to be monstrous, I think, and he's not that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that saved Erik in the summer is there weren't obvious replacements. The thing that might save him now is that the one who's apparently, reportedly, and there's some good reporting on this, closest was Tuchel, who Ratcliffe has got a big hard on for, apparently. But they struggled with the pay packet he wanted and also the, like, how much control he'd have. Given that they've put in a director of football, a new head scout, new head of analytics, new technical director, I think there's an assumption that there's less power for the manager there. And Tuchel has obviously not done quite so well in those sort of systems.
So, I mean, I hate to say it, but I was told again the other day that someone who I know is what they're hearing is still Southgate. I still cannot believe that anyone, I say this every time he comes up, that anyone who worked with Guardiola, whose arse is on the line for catching Guardiola, is going to say, yeah, I'm going to go to Southgate because Dave Browse has said so.
It just
feels unbelievable.
It feels unbelievable. It almost feels like a press stalking horse from Ten Hag's people to look what you could get.
Anthony Meyer.
It's, yeah, dearie me. No, I think Southgate will end up at some MLS club or something like that. Feels like his level.
Why would they not fire him? So, but I guess the way I see it is that Ineos want to make an immediate impact. And if they're not careful, this season is going to disappear really quickly. We'll be out of Europe and nowhere near the European places.
Yep.
And are they just letting him get on with it? And are we then saying, if they don't fire him now, are we then saying that he's going to get the season, whatever happens? Or what?
I mean, I guess so, because is it better if they fire him in January and then it's impossible to turn the season around?
Imagine how mean it can get if he stays. But it's just, I think that, like, as United supporters in particular, we've become adept at knowing what it looks like when hope is extinguished. So for Moyes, it was, I mean, I never had any hope with Moyes, but like that Everton game was when you knew that it was over and you got fired the next day. Van Gaal was the Stoke game on Boxing Day, and he survives till the end of the season. Mourinho, I guess, was someone they made it obvious that they were going to have to fire him when Woodward briefs against him, when he says when he wants to fire Noir or Alderweireld, and Woodward decides that his football knowledge is better. But the on-pitch embarrassment at Anfield was the one that gets fired the next day.
Yeah, well, not long before that, of course, he played 3 at the back against West Ham and played Scott McTominay in the back 3 there. So that was good. Good profiling, as the kids would say these days.
Yeah, and who McTominay scored after 12 seconds or something yesterday for Napoli.
Yeah.
And then it's that 4-2 against Leicester. He gets a few more games out of it. There's still time to lose 5-0 to Liverpool, get embarrassed by City in the derby as well.
And Watford was the final. I mean, Ollie lost 7 of his last 10 or something like that. And clearly there were factions in the dressing room there causing problems. So,
whereas, I guess I'd say that for Ten Hag, that was that Tottenham game. When you see that Tottenham game, just immediately you're seeing it thinking, there's no real coming back from this. This is too bad for it to possibly think that after 2 years it still looks like this, but everything is going to improve enough. And nothing that I saw today changed that. So, I mean, I would definitely fire him tomorrow if I could. And what are we saying the reason is for them not firing him then?
That they're still hoping that he can turn it around. That whatever the review produced in the summer that told them that he was the best man still.
They're based on what evidence?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. The evidence of last season was in finishing 8th, statistically outperformed the position we should have finished in. So, I mean, I guess Ashworth, well, it's interesting that both Ashworth and Barada have basically said, and I guess they have to for contractual reasons, have said, oh, no, we weren't in place. It wasn't our decision. So who's led the review? Big Jim, Brailsford and Jason Wilcox, I guess. I mean, the evidence was there last season. Nothing has changed really in how United are playing this season. We've got fewer injured players, so it should be better, but it's not really. The Cup gave him some credit, but it wasn't a sign of progress, I don't think. And maybe they took it as a sign of progress, but it shouldn't be. And I think I said before, there's not enough credit in the bank for Erik that people would forget how bad that last season was and the pressure would be on immediately if this one didn't start well. And it is.
And it's not just that it's not started well, it started despicably. It couldn't legitimately have been worse. These players are not capable of fewer goals and fewer points than they've managed so far this season.
Oh, hold my beer. Yeah, they might be. I mean, like, how bad does he have to get then to pull the trigger? Basically, like fewer goals and fewer points. We've got how many points? Is that 9? Is that 9 points we got from 7 games? Now I forget.
No, we got
7 points.
7 points, no?
7 points.
Do we have 7 points?
God, I can't. It's so bad. It's so bad I can't even remember. So
then we're 14th.
We are indeed 14th, and we probably have
8 points.
8 points. Top stuff. And we probably have Andre Onana, who's done well this season. So thank for having that many.
He's done all right this season, I would say. Against Liverpool, he definitely didn't need to let in 3 goals in the manner that he did. But yeah, other than that, he hasn't been as dreadful as previously. But again, still, like, the reason he was bought was the passing, and we're seeing more as none of it. Mm-hmm. And it's the manager that bought him. And yeah, I've had enough of this guy.
Yeah. Well, so they sack him, keep him on the payroll, and just keep paying him until he gets another job, basically. So there's a lot of reports that it'd be £50 million or something to sack him. I think it's not exactly that. They just keep paying him. That's what happened with like 15 Chelsea managers who are all on the payroll at one stage. maybe not quite that many, but not far off. So yeah, keep him on the payroll. Ruud does the interim job until they find the next guy, probably next summer, and they just wait to see if one of the many people they interviewed last summer would like to take the job this time, I guess.
Or they go for someone different. They go for Inzaghi, or they go for the guy at Stuttgart, whose name momentarily escapes me.
Hoeneß,
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, they could do. I mean, presumably they have done a lot of the groundwork here in making the connections and doing the analysis and have a clear vision about what their vision is for the club.
Why are we presuming this?
I don't know. I'm presuming this because that's what Big Jim said they would do. So... Or at least he said that they would pick a coach based on the club's style. So I'm making a lot of assumptions based on that one interview with Dan Roan. Dan Roan doorstepped him at the America's Cup this week and tried to get some kind of answer out of him. Didn't get much. Erik just said, Jim Ratcliffe just said, we like Erik, but ultimately it's not my choice.
We haven't scored for 3 league games now.
Yeah.
I mean, that is straight out of the Van Gaal playbook, that.
Yeah. The Van Gaal playbook might have been 0-0, 0-0, 0-0.
Yeah, not a 3-3 draw in Europe. But actually, we did prove ourselves relatively adept at conceding goals in Europe when he was the manager as well.
Very true. Yes. I mean, this would be your traditional time to fire a manager, of course, the international break. You've got a couple of weeks to settle things down and so on. So, and they have this board meeting, which was prearranged, nothing to do with the manager executive team meeting in London on Tuesday. So Joel Glazer is flying in for that one. Do you think he's taking the private plane, or is he flying commercial this time round? It costs the club 250 grand every time Joel or Avram want to take the private jet into Manchester instead of sucking it up and flying on BA or Southwest or some dreadful WestJet.
Does he must have his own plane?
I don't know if they have their own plane. I think they're doing...
Uncle Big Sajid must have one. Does he not? Does he not just lend that out?
Yeah, maybe he does, yeah.
Meantime, Spurs, by the way, are 2-0 up now on Brighton in 37 minutes.
Wow, there you go. No, the reason why I bring the plane up is, of course, that's probably the salary of 3 people they fired. You can do that. But yeah, maybe topic number 1 will be Erik's future.
You'd have to think it would be.
You would think so. If you're a betting man, which way would you punt on this one?
Do I think they'll fire him or not?
Yeah.
So my sense, based on nothing, is that they won't. But then every time I alight on that, I think, how on earth can they not?
Yeah.
And if I had a financial interest or a legacy interest, I would be getting it done immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not because I'm being hasty, fickle supporter. It's because over 2 and a bit years, what we're seeing is bullshit.
It is indeed. And the financial cost of not doing it, the opportunity cost, is really high. I mean, the difference between the new Champions League and the new whatever other competition we might be in, or none, if it carries on like this, is like 60, 70, 80 million pounds.
Yeah, yeah. So by any kind of sensible rationale, the time has come. And these ruthless people they might not be perfect, but I don't think they're idiots, and I don't think that they'll care about protecting Ten Hag for any reason. Not that they're not even mentoring. Well, apart from the rest of his contract,
yeah,
several millions. But so yeah, my sense is no. Except how can they not? Which makes me say yes.
Yeah, I think they'll punt on this one and not do it yet, but they should. Like, there's nothing more we need to see. I don't think it's not a Fergie situation where he's suddenly going to turn around and be an elite coach, right?
Because then, like, what are they expecting to see after the break? Do we go back after the break? Do we go back to playing a different style of football, like a proactive style of football? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I suppose there'd be some irony in Brentford coming to Old Trafford and beating us to finally finish Ten Hag off, and Thomas Frank knee sliding down the touchline and then signing a contract at United. So, by the way, did you see? I don't know why they did this. Are they doing a doco or something? They released footage from Brentford's win the other night from the dressing room. Thomas Frank's sort of trying to do a rousing speech at the end in his sort of slightly monosyllabic German style. But good win, lads. And after they beat Wolves 5-3, and he said they scored 3 out of nothing. That's football. It's true. I looked at that. I was like, did they? Wolves' 3 goals came from 0.22 XG. So there you go.
So yeah, he was right. I mean, I quite like him, but going from Brentford to United is obviously just a ridiculous step, and I don't think it's one that he'd be scared of because he's got quite a lot of balls in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those where you could kind of sort of make yourself get behind it, but you'd be even less surprised if it failed than you would be ordinarily.
I mean, there's nothing on the CV that says obvious next step is Manchester United manager. It's kind of interesting in Brentford, though. They've gone back to, because they played a very proactive front foot attacking style in the Championship, and then he went very direct. He's now consolidated Brentford in the Premier League, and they've gone back to playing a nice style of football this season. Scored more goals in that Wolves game than United have all season, or same amount.
Same number, yeah. I mean, he'd be on my list. I mean, you just want someone to show some imagination somewhere, because existing in the world will be one of the next great managers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's Thomas Frank.
True. Yeah. I don't know if it's his Honest guy. Xabi Alonso or whoever the fuck else was on the list. There are many obvious names on the list in the summer.
I would say those two, Ernest and Xabi Alonso, I'll probably start. I might start looking now.
Would that include Gareth Southgate? That's one of the next elite managers.
Oh, I'm just going to get him to come in and be a figurehead to really set the culture.
I thought Erik was doing the cultural reset. I thought that was already happened.
They now all laugh at me.
Oh, man. Well, we somehow eked out 30 minutes of discussion here, and I'm not quite sure what else to say. We've got the international break. England played Greece and somebody. I don't know who. Actually, that's how little attention I've paid to it. I guess we get to have a replay of David Beckham's free kick for England against Greece in 2001.
Which is actually 23 years ago today.
Jesus. Does that make you feel old?
I mean, I guess I probably feel quite old already.
You're feeling old back in 2001. So
old? Yeah. No, I mean, I'm old and young. I guess like part of me would still always be a 7-year-old.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't know what to say, but yeah, it's not good. Ed. Sacking the manager isn't necessarily the answer, but it won't make it. It doesn't feel like it could possibly make it worse. Let's say that.
No, exactly. I mean, Adam Crafton tweeted during the Porto match. I get the argument of people saying who would be better than this, but who would be worse?
It's not possible to be worse. So
it's not. Yeah. This is £650 million worth of squad right here. This is a Ferrari F1 car being driven into the side of a wall somewhere. So it's, really bad. Awesome. Lovely stuff.
And you just see, it should also just, it's not the fact that it's so bad. And so obviously part of that is just that there's no excuse for it being this bad. Even if he hasn't spent the money as wisely as he should have done, that's not all entirely his fault. But also there are enough good players in this team for it not to be 5 goals in 7 games.
Yeah.
For it not to be 2 points from Twente and Porto up in both games. And I guess the players are still playing for him in some way.
It doesn't look like they've given up. It just looks like a mess of a plan.
There wasn't enough effort in the Twente and Tottenham games, but in general, they are sort of keeping it respectable in the way that they're sort of running about a bit. But yeah, unless he has to change almost everything to make this better, and he's not going to.
Hey, even Marcus Rashford was running back and fouling people today, so he got kind of lucky, actually.
Oh, we didn't talk about that, did we? Kind of lucky. It was...
I mean, he absolutely hacked at the guy for the second one. And
the second one was just so lazy. It was just, I can't be asked to shuttle a jockey, so I'm just going to trip him up. Just extend the leg and trip him up. It was lazy. I didn't like that tackle at all.
No, and he very much could have got a red there, but so could have Ross Barkley. The ref was handing out a lot of cards, and it was a bit soft on the Villa players at first, but it's just what it is.
I mean, he should have got a red, but then we got done, I suppose, by the referee last week, and that I don't feel the need to overturn the Bruno decision. But the idea that, and I don't blame the ref for giving it to begin with, because the angle that he saw it from looked really bad. But then I don't understand how VAR can say no with every angle, and then they can go to other referees.
Other VAR or something.
Secondary VAR, VAR, deputy VAR, I don't even know what. Or is it senior VAR, because they have final call?
Well, apparently.
Say, actually, because I know United were appalling, and it could be easy to assume they would have played equally badly. But also, if Tottenham come in after that first half, they're only 1-0 up, and United can actually maybe, I was going to say reorganise, but organise is probably a better word. It's only 1-0, and that could be a game. 1-0 and no Bruno, the game is over.
Yeah. It was so bad in the first 45, I had no hope of them like suddenly becoming good. So in a sense, I think my anger would have been much different if United were playing well, were 1-0 down from some deflected shot or something, and then Bruno gets sent off for something ridiculous. United were just as bad as it has ever got post Fergie in that first 45 against Spurs, and so I was like, yeah, bad decision, but we were dreadful. So we were bad enough for 2 or 3 games in that first 45, let alone just the one.
I mean, that did actually happen under Ole, though. Dreadful first halves and good second halves. The
amount of comebacks under Ole were spectacular. 29 games unbeaten as well. On the road, I mean.
And we just generally scored some. I mean, I know some of that was COVID, but we also scored quite a lot of goals under all there as well. And there's just no sense that we're on the cusp of unlocking. And it's not even like there's a missing piece. It's just everything about the attacking play is constipated.
That's a good word for it. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, we can't defend and attack in the same game. So that is absolutely proven out. And then you look at the players and there are obviously flaws in this squad, but they're better than 14.
By quite a lot, in theory.
If by some miracle we were able to forgive Jurgen Klopp for his Liverpool past and he suddenly decided he wanted to come and join United, I know this is a ridiculous hypothetical, where do you think he would finish with this squad? Because I reckon it's like top 3. So.
Definitely top 6 and probably top 4. Yeah, like there are good players in this team. Maybe not any or a few who are quite as good as you really need them to be. As I said at the beginning of the season, I think there are a lot of players who could be among the worst players in the team challenges for the title. Are there any that could be among the best? Not sure about that. Bruno maybe in the right team. Because I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about Bruno now, but to me, I would always just say, well, he's playing in a crap team and he's always had crap managers. And yet has still delivered what he's delivered. So... Yeah, we can still see the things that are less good about him. It doesn't feel to me like he's a major problem in this team. That feels weird, but it's even controversial for some people to say that.
Yeah, he gave the ball away a few times, like stupid stuff, like flicks and that kind of stuff. He can cut that out and be sensible with it when he's in deeper midfield positions. But you want the best out of Bruno, you get him like much higher up the pitch and you get goals and assists from him. Like, and the fact that they are not able to do that and have a secure team. And as soon as he moves forward, like he did after a 2-0 up against Porto, everything goes to shit. And like the defensive structure just doesn't work. So you give up on goals and assists from Bruno in order to have more solidity. I have to believe there is a coach somewhere on the planet that can go, oh yeah, we can get something out of this guy. And it's not doing a Ralph and sticking him on the left wing.
Or the bench.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I feel like we've run out of things to say, Dan. So, yeah,
I know, we have to get good soon just for that reason.
Yeah. Well, maybe we do an emergency pod in midweek if Big Jim calls time on little Erik on Tuesday.
I will indeed look forward to that.
Yeah, I would.
Any time of the day or night, I'm yours.
There was a great tweet that Andy Mitten put out during the game of a guy sat on the sideline. He was a steward, and he looked exactly like Erik Ten Hag, and he was sat on a metal bucket, little goatee beard, bald head. And I was like, yeah, there you go. That's Eric's next job, stewarding somewhere. Or winning trophies, as he likes to say and claim. All right, I think we'll call it there. Everyone, I think I'm scheduled to be back in midweek with Wayne, but we may have to do an emergency pod at some point. We'll be back with the Tactics show, I guess, with Darnish on Monday, if we can stand to do more of this. And check out our YouTube channel.
Is Darnish going to rewatch this game?
I mean, it's his job, as Roy Keane would say. That's your job. He's a glutton for punishment. That's all I can say. Catch us on the socials. Daniel is at Daniel Harris. I'm at NQAT Pod. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. Catch you soon. Bye now.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time, 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.